All right, guys, I just went for a 7-mile run, so I am pretty exhausted right now. I'm still a little bit sweaty, and this car is hot. So I got to get this message across quick before I look like I went for a swim. But I had this interesting idea today that mistakes as you age become less costly, but still hold their value. And to explain this, I want to use an example that we can all relate to, which is this feeling that as you age, days go by faster. Relatively speaking, they are taking up a smaller portion of your life. A 1-year-old has a different experience of a day than a 20-year-old does. And I think mistakes function in a similar way. As you age and as you gain experience in life, you have a larger catalog to look back on. And when I think back to my early days, when I was a young buck out there on the field, mistakes that I was making at the time were very costly. I would brood on them for weeks. If I had an embarrassing moment, a failed test, whatever it was, I would really sit on that because it was one of the few mistakes that I had made at the time. And obviously, like pretty much everyone out there, I am essentially a professional at screwing up at this point. I have made so many mistakes across any situation in my life that now, relatively speaking, the mistakes are less costly. It's something that I can look back on and be like, well, I've done that before in a different way. I know that I'm going to get through this. I'll be fine. For example, breakups. My first heartbreak, brutal. My second heartbreak, brutal. My third heartbreak, brutal. They are still painful, but it takes me a shorter amount of time to move on, and that's because I know I'm gonna be okay. I've been through it. It's kind of like working out. The first time you get an injury, it is life-changing. I vividly remember some of my first injuries as an athlete, but now it's kind of like, okay, I've been down this road before. I know the process. I'm gonna come out the other end. I have to rest, recover, and just stay positive. But this is interesting because even though, like I said, it's something that I can move on from quicker, it still provides the same value. So yeah, sure, I've been through a few breakups now, but that doesn't mean that I'm not learning lessons in the same way. And I think our brain is very good at this. It remembers the things that we do wrong vividly. And it makes sense why this is. You don't want to do it again. And I think I've become better at this, not making the same mistake twice. So for that reason, mistakes really do hold the same value. But in terms of the cost, it seems that it is increasingly less. And that's, like I said, because I think we have a bigger catalog to look back on and we have more life experience. And this is a good thing because they're costing less, giving the same. To me, if I was thinking in economic terms, that's a pretty good deal. And for that reason, I think it is important to continue making mistakes, and not big ones, not moral mistakes, so to speak, but just general life stuff. And I'm starting to embrace this because I'm really good at it. I really screw up a lot, constantly almost. But I've noticed, just to use a simple example, that in these videos, when I make a mistake, it's not likely that I'm going to forget it. And then going forward, I use that. And now my videos, I think, are getting a little better. And I'm hoping that's the case at least. But this really speaks to the point that I was talking about today. And it's pretty simply put that I think mistakes as you get older are just as valuable, but less costly. I hope this made some kind of sense. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you're having a good one.